Yeah, I mean the two SEC losses that you've taken, you have been unable to reach 20 points. Both of them on the road, both of them in tight spots. I don't want to say that there's a pattern there, but let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, just once again, the offense doesn't travel. We've seen the offense not travel for Josh Heupel. That's kind of been the case. The defense not showing up tonight hurt. That hurt a lot. That was you're absolutely right. Without this defense, you're not here. No. You're not in that 8-1, now 8-2 spot with a chance to solidify your playoff spot. But they got nothing. I mean, Beck could have read a book. He could have written a dissertation. He could have, just put his feet up on the ottoman back there with how much time he had. And you got rocked in the trenches. Rocked. I mean, this wasn't close. This was the type of game that I would expect to see in 2021, where that second half. I mean, in the first half, you were playing with a little more pride. That second half, I mean, you just got your butt kicked. You could blame the refs all you want. There were some absolute nonsense calls. And I would say that drive where Georgia took a 24-17 lead was some really questionable calls. Some very, very questionable calls. But you got your butt kicked. I mean, you did. I don't know. That's what happened. Like, somebody tell me I'm wrong and give me a reason why. Like, that's...
I don't feel like arguing, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Dude, come on. No.
Because here's the thing. The snippet for he could have sat back with his feet up on an ottoman, that's all BS. They had a great game plan to quick play action, get the ball out quick, to try to it's called play action pass. PAP. Play action pass for a reason.
Even everybody has been playing.
What ball? What ball did they now? Granted, that last go ball to Humphreys, stupidly good coverage, but even better of a throw, and don't know how the kid caught the ball. Say it that way. I don't even know if he knew that he caught it. Say it that way. Phenomenal coverage. It was. And you could tell he was just trying to get it out, whatever. But the bottom line is, what ball did they complete? Consist outside of a dig route. In case you're wondering, dig routes are at 14 yards. That's important for this. Over 15 yards, Charlie. Please tell me.
How many did Georgia complete?
Yeah, you tell me. Over 15 yards, because dig routes are in at 14.
It felt like a number of them in that second half.
I don't want to hear felt like. I want to know a number.
I don't know. I have no idea. It felt like
Let me finish my statement. So don't sit here and go, well, he had for the snippet of he had time to put his feet up on the ottoman. We did not get a pass rush. But don't sit here and make it look like the sky's falling for our defensive line.
I don't think the sky's falling, because I think
that's what you made it sound. No, that's what you made it sound like.
You can go and play a team that's far less formidable than Georgia, and you'll beat your whoever. Like, if you had to play Missouri next week, yeah, they probably would rock Missouri. That's true, but like, Missouri is not the team that's standing between you and a national championship. It's Georgia. Like, that's the team that's standing between you and a national championship.
The bottom line is, Georgia had a great offensive game plan tonight with play action pass. They did. Well, it goes back to what I talked about this morning on my show with my dad and our co-host. Was Tom Brady said this a while ago, and I can't remember who said it recently. The reason why the NFL is a lackluster league to watch is because the lack of quarterback development. All right. Meaning, in the college game, when do you ever see us get in the pistol, which means the tailback go right behind the quarterback and play action pass? We don't do that. We don't but it's not just us. I'm saying there's a lot of people. You run to set up the pass, and you can play action pass. We're a run first team, but we don't play action pass. Does that make sense? All of 95% of their big plays tonight were play action pass. That's how you do it. That's how you set up the seams. That's how you set up the 14-yard dig routes, the 14-yard seam routes, the 10-yard out routes. is play action pass. They just had a better offensive scheme or game plan than our defensive game plan tonight. And I said at halftime, we needed to play more zone.
It seemed like, again, I mean, I'd have to rewatch to see the full-blown front to back exactly what happened. It seemed like anytime Tennessee blitzed that they were able to hit us over the top in that mid-range. You know, I mean, it was to a tight end. You said it. Their tight ends played far better than I think anybody thought they were going to. Bell is out in that second half. I mean, that's their best wide receiver, and we kind of said, oh, maybe that's the guy that could roast Tennessee. Well, it turns out it's going to be Oscar Delp. That it's going to be the tight ends. Of course, it was always going to be the tight ends. That's who. Like, I said in the analysis leading up to this game that Brock Bowers is not walking through that door, and he certainly didn't. They didn't have to have him. The guy that they roasted you with is no Brock Bowers. But football is back, and what better way to bet on the big games than on Zen Sports, the new sportsbook in Tennessee that's bringing sports betting to a whole new level. When you sign up for Zen Sports, you'll automatically earn up to a $100 no danger first wager. If your first bet loses, you'll be reimbursed for the amount of your bet up to $100. And for the football season, Zen Sports is launching a revamped betting platform for both college football and the NFL. And what's better? With our new look, Zen Sports will be offering daily promotions, including odds boosts, same-game parlays, no-danger wagers, and much more. Zen Sports also offers a one-of-a-kind VIP rewards program, and if you qualify, you can earn monthly comps at sporting events, concerts, and even sportsbook bonuses. It's by invite only, so go to zensports.com/VIP for details. What are you waiting for, football fans? Start betting with Zen Sports, where you will receive true odds on all parlays and an enhanced user experience. Get going. Download their app at zensports.com today. Zen Sports betting just got better. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. No danger. First wager limited to plus 500 odds to qualify. Boosted odds are derived from equivalent parlay bets offered in Tennessee. Must be 21 or older in Tennessee to bet. Zen Sports. But they roasted you with him nonetheless. And I mean, that is just like, it's just unacceptable. I don't know. I mean, yes, I can say that Georgia had that better game plan and all that stuff. When are you going to have the better game plan in a big spot? When? Because you're on year 4 now. Like, this is year 4. This is how often am I going to give this pass to Josh Heupel where it's just, in the biggest game, in the game where it really mattered, in the biggest spot, well, they had the better game plan. Well, freaking have the better game plan in the biggest spot, Josh. I don't know.
Charlie.
Like,
well, first of all, I'm going to address this comment, and then I'll go to that. So Roley said they had 6 plays over 20 yards. You know, I get that. I'm talking about throwing it over 20 yards. I don't know the number. I'm not talking about catch and runs. So I appreciate the comment, but if you do know that, could you let me know? Because I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Over 15 yards of like thrown it. But secondly, what did we say a couple weeks ago about offense is not going to change, right? And I'm going to quote you. You ready? Okay, and his tenure. Go ahead and tell me what his record versus Georgia and Florida and Alabama is.
Georgia and Florida and Alabama.
No, not Georgia. Just Florida and Alabama, because this was after Alabama game.
2 and
no. So he's beat them 3 times in the past 3 years, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he's beaten each twice. Yeah, he's beaten each twice, and he's lost to him twice. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were like, man, hey, I'll take that. So you can't be wishy-washy here. You straight up said, no. Hear me. You straight up said you would take the game plan and all this, beating Alabama and beating Florida. But how many times have we, and everybody even in the comments are like agreed with this over years, our offensive system, it like, you know what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it's great, it's great. When it's not, it's not. Like, when it's great, it's great. It's not, it's not. And that it's frustrating as hell. I agree with you. Dude, I'm the first. Like, it honestly, it pisses me off, if you want to know the truth.
Well, really,
but I'm trying to make sure. I'm just trying to let you know the sky's not falling. I agree with you though. We played like boo-boo tonight, like all around. Outside of the first 2 drives. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
First 2 drives we played flawless.
I mean, the real truth is this: why'd you lose to Arkansas? Because if you didn't lose to Arkansas, this game doesn't matter like this.
We played like absolute crap that game.
I mean, absolute garbage dump. Just because in this one, yeah, I mean, you had some plays in this one where you brought it a little bit, but you backed yourself into this corner where you had to beat Georgia. You had to beat the freaking powerhouse of the last 5 years of college football to get into the playoff. I mean, if we're being completely honest, maybe you make it into playoff and some crazy things happen, but it's out of your hands now. And that's disappointing. The narrative that I see is that it's going to be, well, they got blown out at Georgia, and so they're just on the outside looking in. That's going to be the narrative. That's what's going to happen. And it's another, I mean, that sucks. That's not, in this day and age, that's not acceptable. When you have this defense, you have this quarterback, you have everything that Tennessee has going for them, not making this playoff is not an acceptable outcome. That's a failure. That's a full-blown failure. That's a failure of a season. And I don't know. I wish I could frame it another way. That's what it is. And that might not happen. Again, you might have some teams that help you out, but if that is what happens and that's the narrative that they get you with, and the freaking AD at Michigan, who is the chair of the college football playoff committee, that, when they lay that on you here in a few weeks,
which that's a side note, crazy that
I can't believe that's really the guy they put there.
I can't believe,
but that's what it's going to be. And you did this to yourself. Like, it really goes back to that Arkansas game. Did I expect to go in and beat Georgia, who hasn't lost there since 2019? They have not lost there since 2019. Like, did I go in and we're definitely beating Georgia there? No, I did not expect that. But, I mean, you did this to yourself nonetheless with that game at Arkansas. It's just another thing that just leaves you kind of beating your head against the wall when it didn't have to. And, here we are. I guess I would say your prayers if BYU loses tonight and Notre Dame loses. I
get it. Something happens. Let's look at it in another perspective real fast. And I'm just, once again, I like to play devil's advocate. I think it's fun. You're going to come. I just need a yes or no. You're going to complain with 10-2?
Yes. I am, because here's what I think about it.
No. I just want to be yes or no. If you're going to complain with 10-2, kudos. I get it. But now, if we had been to the playoff 3-4 times, then I would sit here and go, "You're damn right, I'm complaining with 10-2." Does that make sense? Like if we had Georgia should complain with 10-2 for having back-to-back national championships a couple of years ago, 100%. Does that make sense? We also got to be realistic of where our program is at. 10-2, double-digit wins is phenomenal. Is it going to get us in the playoffs? We have no idea because there's still, quote-unquote, the old cliche, a lot of ball to be played outside of our schedule. We don't know. Texas and Texas A&M still got to play. So I don't know what's going to happen. But this is a good comment. It says, this was a dogfight for the majority of the game. Truth is, UGA has slipped a bit, and we're not quite good enough to beat them at home. We're close, though. I 100% agree with that comment.
Yeah, I mean, if that game happens in Neyland, you're at a minimum, I think you're really close to winning. You definitely would have had a chance probably right there at the end if you don't just flat out win by a touchdown. Fine. Hey, that's great. You beat Alabama, and that is amazing. Like, these amazing things have happened. But at the end of the day, you have to hold the team to where you have to meet them where they're at. And where they're at is it's play. I mean, it's like with a basketball team. Like last year with Dalton Connect. You look at that entire setup with the basketball team, and you go, if these boys don't make a run in the NCAA tournament, this is a failure. Because you make the NCAA tournament. That's fine. It's kind of like with this football team. Yeah, you can make it to 10-2. Okay. That's great, and it was a lot of fun along the way. We got to smoke a cigar against Alabama. That was awesome. Like in that season with Dalton Connect, you beat Alabama on the road, and it was an amazing win, and it was really fun. And there were real moments. You won in Rupp Arena.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end of the day, if you don't make a run in the NCAA tournament, what the hell does this matter?
Okay, so then I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor then, because I want to make sure that I'm correct. Our first show, when I predicted 10-2 or 11-1, and you said I would take that any day of the week, I need that snippet.
I mean, I don't necessarily take it back.
I know. I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Here's where,
and I'm also gonna hold accountability, like when that was said at the beginning of the year.
But here's where the facts have changed on the ground.
But you can't do that.
From then,
because I predicted Georgia or Alabama and one other random loss. I honestly did not think it would be Arkansas. Did not think that would happen.
Me either.
But 10-2 is still 10-2.
But here's where the facts have changed on the ground from when I originally said that. The perception was always from the beginning of the season that if you went 10-2 as an SEC team, you're definitely making it in the playoff. That's all but a given.
Once again, it doesn't work that way. Perfect comment. That's moving the goalpost. We can't move the goalpost.
It is.
It is.
But here's the thing. I think everybody who's watching this, including the guy that just said I moved the goalpost, probably thought a 10-2 Tennessee team makes the playoff before the season started. And tell me that you didn't think that. Tell me you didn't think that.
Again, that's not, I still think we get in. I don't think we get a home game. I do still think we get in. I do, because of SEC.
Maybe
that's I could be wrong.
The possibility is not off the table.
It's not. It is not off the table at all. So I mean, like I think we get in, but I just think it's funny that we can change the narrative of 10-2 to fit the narrative of tonight.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Here's where
this is what I look at it. Now, I will also go on the record and say we did not play our great tonight or our best tonight at all on offense or defense. We did not. Now, do I think the referees, was that a face mask? Nope, was not. And it should have been 3rd and 8. Nothing we can do about it. I do think it was a bad call. I do. I think that was a bad call. That gave them the first down to continue a drive and end up scoring. Things like that, I do think went against us. But the bottom line is, and this is what I have to tell my players too, we can't determine that outcome for the referees. Now, I'll argue with the referee. No, I'll argue with the referee all day. And I will tell them, your job is to call the game fairly, but not, keyword, not directly affect the outcome of a game. And I do think that one specific play did help affect the outcome of the game. I do, because of momentum.
It probably did. But I am never like, something truly egregious has to happen for me to be the refs caused this loss.
Oh, no, I'm with you.
I hate that.
No, I'm with you. I'm just saying that I think that play directly affected the momentum that could affect it. Like, honestly, because a 3rd and 8 versus a 1st and 10 on the 50, totally different play calls coming up.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm not going to say that one play lost the game. That's not my point. I'm just saying it definitely helped change momentum in their favor. And then at that point, things just started rolling.